just, just, just a little extra there at the end.
Well, actually, there. Well, why don't you go ahead and fix your mic? I don't know if you're talking out of it.
I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Well, as Nate has his technical difficulties, we'll remove him for a second until he's ready to go. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to I can see him laughing.
All right, we should be good. And now it's reversed. Now it's reversed.
Here we go.
And there we go.
So what a horrendous start. What a horrendous start.
That's on Z. That's on Z.
Oh God. All right. Anyways, that's not on me, guys. That's on the failure preparation, Nathan Hines. So
yeah, failure preparation.
But anyways, welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 69, technically 70. We haven't uploaded our 69 video yet, but welcome back. Welcome back. Today's a big day. Today's a big day with a family of Sun Devils. This video is going to be about one topic only, and it's going to be about the college football playoff selection.
Correct.
Yeah, and the happiness of Alabama not being selected into it.
Yeah,
that I think we're all pleased about. But before we get into it, and how you doing? How was your weekend?
It was fine. Really didn't do too much, honestly. I would say Saturday. What did I do Saturday? Just kind of ran some errands, and then Sunday was football. So we all know how that went. So it was a pretty good slate there. And here we are today on Monday, starting the week. Just rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why you seem like you're exhausted.
What?
You're acting like you're exhausted.
See, it's just rinse, repeat. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't have stories here to tell on how my weekend went.
Oh, welcome to life, man. Welcome to life.
Yeah.
Think about it. And there's some people that are turning this on to maybe get away from work. They're happy to see us. They're actually happy to see you in that big forehead.
Yeah.
So why don't you show some joy and be happy to be here?
Yeah, you're right, D. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Take that hat off and just put your head down a little bit.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So it's no different than your rotting brain.
Yeah. Nobody cares what you have to say. Nobody cares what you have to say.
Yep.
And here we're going to be talking about Selection Sunday and the results that came out of that, as we are going to be going into the 12-team college playoff for the first time. And Z, we'll start there. Do you think that the 12-team college playoff?
And there it goes.
Yeah. Well, my screen's not sharing. There we go. Part of the entertainment. That's part of the entertainment. That's part of the show.
God.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean it is, but it also doesn't take away the fact that, just like again, like I said, a rotting brain.
Yeah, rotting brain. Well, my screen's touchscreen. I accidentally touched it.
Actually, mine is too. That's why I accidentally. Well, whatever. Anyways, so where were we?
Z, do you think that the 12-team playoff and college football moving it from 4 to 12 was the correct move?
Yes, it was, and it doesn't need to go any more than 12. I mean, ever since Alabama didn't get selected, I've seen all Alabama fans just crying over Twitter saying it should be up to 16. Get out of here. And at this point, we might as well just turn it into March Madness. That's what we might as well just turn it into.
Just a big tournament of 60
every single team in Division A football and NCAA should just make it.
Yeah.
That'd be awful. That'd be awful.
Yeah, it's basketball and football. It's a whole different ball game there. So, the 12-team playoff was definitely the right decision. I said that when they announced that a couple years ago. People were crying and moaning about it. I don't know how anybody can disagree about the 12-team playoff not being good, because when you break it down, to me, there's no cons. There's no cons to it. There's not one thing negative I can say about it. You're going to have teams that have lost 1-2 games that are going to get an opportunity. You get more competition. There's more ticket sales. There's more revenue. There's more TV ratings. NIL is already a big thing. So it's like, hey, okay, these players making money, go freaking play. Go freaking play these games.
Some players are making more than some NFL players.
Yep. It brings something in terms of. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying every game is going to be this great game, but you'll actually be able to maybe see an upset or two. You're going to see a team like a Boise State, for example, or an ASU, for example, be able to maybe win a playoff game or something. That's something that you wouldn't see elsewise, otherwise. So everybody's tired of the same four, a mixture of the same four. Yep. We'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
But it's great for college football, and is a level of some unpredictability there, depending on the matchups. So it's exciting. It's I like just the fact of these teams and these players that have really played really well and worked hard all season being able to get an opportunity. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, I mean, before we continue on it, let's go ahead and just pull up the top 12. Hold on, sorry, give me a second, guys. I thought I had it ready. Okay, here it is. The top 12, and honestly, I don't really think this is anything to like disagree with. I mean, just looking at this bracket, I mean, what's wrong about it? You, in order, Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, ASU, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Tennessee, Indiana, SMU, Clemson. The only one you can debate on is Alabama, but this is really this show and this episode is not going to be about Alabama because Alabama didn't make it. Alabama lost 3 games. They lost a miserable game to Vanderbilt, and half of their wins this season were against just irrelevant programs and teams. Yes, I understood they had a couple decent wins against some highly ranked teams, but at the end of the day, so did every other team in the top 15.
Yeah.
So so you're telling me that a 1-loss Indiana team, Alabama should be over them. Right. You're telling me a 1-loss SMU team that barely lost against Clemson, Alabama gets to make it over them. Yeah. I mean, it just fathoms me that Nick Saban's not there anymore. Alabama will be back again next year, probably. All because it's one singular year. Cry about it. It's unbelievable.
See, these are the people who wake up every Saturday morning excited to watch a 56-0 football game.
Yeah, because they go against freaking University of Ohio. It's not even a close game.
They're freaking playing. Yeah, they're freaking playing the Barbarians out there.
Yeah, playing Barbarians. I think we actually put up a decent fight if we had a full 53-minute roster.
Yeah, you put up a decent fight.
But here's what I think what the committee is hoping for with this 12-team playoff end is I don't think, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong about this. What's going to be the difference from this to March Madness is March Madness has that name for a reason. Because no matter if you're a 1 seed or a 16 seed, you probably have the same, like, I mean, we all know the Cinderella run every single year. We all know a 1 through 4 seed gets upset at some point in the first game or two. And I don't know if college football is going to have that this year. Like, I don't know if a team like SMU is going to beat Penn State and then they're going to go down to, let's say, Georgia and beat Georgia. Yeah. Like that would require a lot. And yeah. I don't know if somebody that's going to happen, but I'm not saying that needs to happen for this to be successful.
Yeah.
I think the first year of it and the amount of different programs and colleges that we see in here is a beautiful sight for the game and a beautiful sight for college football. Yeah. Like Boise State, ASU, Indiana, SMU. I mean, shit, I'll even throw like a team like, Notre Dame and Penn State in there too. Because they've always been on the outside looking in with the top 4.
If it was just 4 teams, who do you think it would have been?
That's a good question. 4 teams, it would have been Oregon, it would have been Georgia, Texas, well, Yeah, I think even with the Texas loss to Georgia, they still would have been in.
Yeah.
And
Ohio State.
God, probably I don't know. I mean, they lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I don't know. I mean, it would be one of the three between Ohio State, Penn State, and Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So anyway, looking at this bracket's pretty cool. Just seeing ASU and SMU and Indiana and Boise State.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're able to see 4 of those teams in the college playoff, even if they don't win a game, I still think is pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to try to look up because you know what's funny is when the 4-team playoff came around, when did that come around? Like 5-6 years ago?
I don't remember the year.
Yeah, I mean it obviously wasn't that long. Not a decade, I don't think. Not even close. But the 4-team playoff, I think when it first began, everyone kind of thought it was a good idea. Truly, everybody did think it was a pretty good idea. Instead of just 1 and 2. 1 and 2 being in there, 3 and 4 in the Rose Bowl, and whatever else.
Yeah.
But what made it annoying was even though you expanded to 4, what Nate and I were talking about the other day was it was the same for every single year.
Yeah. It's just super repetitive.
Georgia, Alabama, and then it would maybe rotate with like LSU in there, Washington, Michigan, Ohio State. Those
Notre
are pretty much
Dame a little bit.
I don't know if Notre Dame ever gotten there.
I thought they did one year.
Not that I remember. I don't know.
I thought they did like 3-4 years ago.
I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah.
Well, anyway, beside the point, it was you had just maybe 6 teams and however many years that was, it was literally the mix of the same 6. Who wants to watch that?
Right.
And this is my other grip with college football is that even though like not counting the 12-team playoff, with the 4-team playoff, every other team that was not those 4 teams in Division I football are playing a meaningless and worthless bowl game not one person's going to even remember.
Yep.
There are over 200 bowl games in college football. Who cares? Who cares? Who's watching the Cotton Bowl? What does that accomplish? Yeah. Winning the Cotton Bowl, Z, what does it accomplish?
Well, and the only part I disagree with you on it is I think it's more important to, and by the way, I was trying to find like a picture of like a bracket, but it wouldn't show one. This right here was just last year.
Yeah.
This was last year. And honestly, looking at that, first of all, we all kind of knew Michigan was going to win it just because they were destined for it. Alabama, yawn. Washington had a decent season, but everyone knew they weren't winning it. And Texas were kind of in the same boat as Washington. They were like a year earlier than what they should have been. So this was it. Like this is what we had last year. And I don't know. It just wasn't really entertaining. Obviously, I think Michigan blew out each team they played in like both games.
Yeah.
But to answer your question about like the Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, GoDaddy Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. Well, the Fiesta.
Bowl.
Yeah, the Z Bowl. Well, the Fiesta Bowl is kind of
bowl.
Yeah, bowl. Yeah, freaking no brain. The thing is that the only part I disagree. I agree with you on the part where like if you're like a program like Alabama or even like a team that's like Colorado, like that's not what you're going for. So if you win it like a year, like next season, you're not even gonna care. But if you're more of a program like I don't know, I'm trying to think of a program that's like up and coming. I don't know. I mean, I'll say like Army. Just based off the fact that they're ranked, and if they win a bowl game against a ranked team, I think that'd be pretty good for them.
Well, yeah, like in terms of their program, but my whole point is that when it comes to college football, is that you have one goal, and that's to be the national champion, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So I am somebody where I don't like having all these other bowl games and these consolation bowl games and prizes. Who cares? As a consumer and a viewer, Z, who cares? Like if you have an upcoming program that ends up getting as what you consider a good bowl game, okay, that's great for your program, up and coming program. But I'm talking, Z, in terms of nobody. Z, tell me who won the Cotton Bowl 2 years ago.
I can't tell you.
Exactly. Who won the Tostito Bowl 2 years ago?
I can't tell you.
Couldn't tell me. That's my whole point, is that outside the national championship, Z, nobody really cares. And they don't really, outside of maybe giving a boost to an upcoming program, they don't accomplish anything. It doesn't really mean much of anything. You're not in the national championship. You're not in the big game. You look at the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, college basketball, college baseball. You're all playing for one single goal.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's why I don't like all these bowl games.
I understand that. However,
and I understand the nature of college football, Z. I understand that. I understand that there's so many Division I teams, and that none of these teams outside of now you're 12 aren't going to get a shot at that. So there needs to be something else that they play for. I get it, but I'm saying nobody cares. You're not going to see me turning on the freaking Citrus Bowl. Not turning that on.
I think you should.
I'm going to be Yeah, you think I should. And honestly, any team that loses, Z, in this 12-team playoff, or I should say, no, let me rephrase that. Any team outside this 12-team playoff, I'm not going to be watching. I'm just going to be strictly watching these 12 teams in these 6 games.
Sure.
That's what I'm watching. Peach Bowl, Alamo Bowl, Texas Bowl, Liberty Bowl, Rate Bowl, Pop-Tarts Bowl. Who's watching that? Oh, I know Snow will be Miami versus Iowa State. They just missed it, so they need to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, they do.
If Miami wins the Pop-Tart Bowl, Snow's going nuts. Awful.
That's definitely awful. We're definitely recording that syndrome.
That's my whole point. No, who cares about these bowl games?
Well, and here's the thing: is that I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm agreeing with what you're saying to an extent of, if a team comes into the season and in preseason rankings as a top 25 team, even if you're on the fringe of being top 25, let's say 30 teams, if none of them reach this season's top 12, yeah, I would view that as a failure. But if I'm looking at, if I see any team on this list, I don't know, Rutgers, I guess, maybe Arkansas, Baylor, like if they're winning these bowl games, it's going to help them boost into next season. Now, I know,
and I said that's going to help their program. Outside of these teams winning these bowl games to help their programs, nobody cares. Nobody's going to remember who won the Pop-Tart Bowl. Nobody's going to remember who won the Alamo Bowl. Nobody's going to remember that.
Yeah.
So outside of it helping their program, whether it's an upcoming program to give them more, to make them more serious, to show that they're starting to put things together, outside of that, or maybe something that might help a Miami, for example, or a Baylor, or something like that going into the next season, nobody really cares.
Yep.
Nobody does. It's all about the national championship. It's all about this 12-team playoff. That's what people are caring about. That's what people are watching.
Yep.
So, let me go crazy. We won the Treyarch Bowl.
The Treyarch Bowl.
We won the 212th bowl game out of 215.
Yep. Yeah.
Let me go nuts.
Yeah, Treyarch Bowl.
might as well be one. The Dog Bowl. The Cat Bowl.
Yeah.
Tito's Bowl.
Yeah, Tito's Bowl. Yep. Well,
Titus's Bowl.
Well, let's actually get in, a little bit to, the bracket itself. And, I don't really care to talk about like a team like Oregon, a team like Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas. They were all expected to be there. And if anybody thought differently, relax. So,
well, Oregon has a 6-year quarterback, so
yeah, they do. Truly, no different. No different than what's his name? Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean the guy. How old is Dylan Gabriel?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's got to be like 25.
But as I'm trying to pull up, I had something ready to go and I lost it. And what would you say this season is the best story in college football? We don't really talk about college football that much on our channel. But what would you say is the best story in college football? And you could say Ashton Genty. You can say, I mean, you could say Boise State. You could say ASU. You can say SMU. You could say Indiana. Who would you say is the best story in football this season?
The best story? It's a good question. I'm going to say, well, you can make a case for, I think, 3 different things with terms of their meaning and the impact it's played on the college football season. I think there's 3 or 4 things you could say, but for me, I really like seeing a team like Boise State come around and have a breakout season. I think a season a lot of people didn't expect. And you have a guy in Ashton Genty who has had an incredible season as a running back, is probably going to win the Heisman, probably going to go top 15 in the NFL, and truly has led the way for that program in terms of turning it around. When's the last time Boise State was a threat or was legit? Maybe 1 year of Kellen Moore.
Maybe.
So how long ago was that?
I mean, long time ago. I mean, just looking at Ashton Genty's numbers, I mean that let alone is
imagine that in fantasy football.
God.
See, how many points do you think that'd be? 271 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Well, you do 6 times 6, which is 36.
Yep.
And then plus 27, quick math, which will come out to, I think, 63 fantasy points.
Imagine having that on your bench.
Yeah, yeah, I think the best story in college football is like, just let alone Ashton Genty, but honestly, like how many people have actually, like, respectfully, like actually like paid attention to Boise State? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't name their quarterback. I have no idea.
That's why I said you could make a case for a few different stories that's really impacted college football this year. And I think Boise State's one of them. Obviously, what ASU's done, they've been a piss poor program for how many years?
Yeah.
And they have had, they're another team having a breakout season. They had a season nobody expected. Nobody picked ASU to make this tournament. I think most people didn't expect ASU to even be ranked. And you end up having a great year from their running back. And they have a really good wide receiver. And they've won some big games.
The best running back in the nation behind behind Ashton Genty is Cam Scadaboo. And you know what's funny is, like, not a lot of people really gave him his praise. I'm not gonna say at the start of the year, but as the year went on, the guy was almost about as consistent as Genty, just in a very underrated way.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
But as he's quite literally carried ASU into a playoff spot, he's starting to get recognized. And honestly, then this is what you want to see. He's not going to be a Heisman candidate, obviously, and the Heisman candidates were actually just announced: Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty. Yeah. But I do think the best story in college football is probably Indiana, just due to the fact that they could have went undefeated if it wasn't for them. I mean, they didn't have a chance going on the road in Ohio State. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Just that they're not there yet. But
yeah,
I hate to hate on, like, Indiana in the way of like they don't have a chance. I mean, they're not going to win the national championship. It's not going to happen. We all know that.
No, they won't. But again, like that's what I mean. They're another great story that again, Indiana, not really known for. In my opinion, they're more known for their basketball program than their football program. So again, another team that I think had a little bit of noise going in the season, but again, it was one of those fringe teams of okay, is this going to be a team that could make the college playoff? I think most people would say no, and I think most people would probably put other teams ahead of them that really disappointed this year. Florida State, one of them.
God,
awful.
Yeah, I know.
Florida State, one of them. I think like Michigan was more of a rebuild year, but I think some people still kind of had some faith in them. I think LSU could have been a team that some people looked kind of highly into. So it's just great to see stories like that of Boise State, of Arizona, or ASU. Even SMU getting in, there was some questionability on terms of them getting in, but they did. Yep. So the fact SMU, who again has kind of been like an average football program, having a great season, getting into the tournament, that's fantastic. And that's with the ability of teams being able to do that now, it's going to make the college football product that much better.
I put this on my Instagram story a couple days ago, and I'm sure I could find the same about SMU and probably a couple other teams in there. But look at that right there, 2024 Big 12 media preseason poll. Look who's all the way at the bottom. Look who's all the way at the bottom. We're behind every single team that is there, and that can't go unnoticed.
Yeah,
like that can't. I mean, so Cincinnati, Texas Tech, TCU, UCF. Now, damn well, Arizona State has built enough respect for probably next season.
U of A was projected to be the better team.
Yeah, I mean, look at U of A; they're number 5 on that list.
Yeah.
So, and that's just the nature of college football and really just college sports in general. But Arizona State has built the respect of now. We'll look at this list next season, and I promise you, they'll probably be number 1, if not top 3.
Yeah.
But enough of the like storylines to it. Let's just simply get into it then. Who do you think is going to win the college football national championship? Because I know who I'm going to pick.
OSU.
Yeah, I'm picking ASU.
I think
actually not.
I think who I think is going to win is going to be Oregon. I think they're just complete all around. They're dominant all around. That's what happens when you have a quarterback that's been playing college football for however many years. But they do. They have a great team. It's hard to see. For me, it's hard to see them lose, especially a couple of these games that they've had recently. Like they're just dominant in every aspect. And I look at other teams like I look at Georgia. Georgia's obviously a great team. They are every year. But to me, there's more things to expose and there's more kind of holes with them than there is Oregon. Like, I just feel like Oregon is just complete, dude. I feel like it's a year where they're a complete team, where there's just really hard to find anything that's of a more negative side to them. So they're going to be my pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be mostly everybody's pick. I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Oregon's been one of those teams that kind of reminds me of like Gonzaga in college basketball, where it's like, when are you guys finally going to win it?
Right.
And I don't know, dude, just like kind of like when Michigan won it last year and they went undefeated, or like when Georgia went undefeated, or all the years that probably Alabama went undefeated. There's nobody in this top 12 that can beat them unless Oregon has a really, really like off day.
Right.
I mean, God, Oregon went undefeated. So what do you guys think?
Yeah.
And they had a difficult schedule.
But see, then that would make for a great story, honestly, is if there's one of these teams that can upset them.
I agree. I'm not sitting here saying that I wish Oregon wins.
Yeah, no, I know. But in terms of like with them, the fact of the season that they've had and they're the favorite to win. So now now you have this 12-team playoff now instead of 4. Now that's probably not going to happen this year, but it makes the stakes a little more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like I want like an upset, and I want to see, obviously ASU win it, or or whoever. But it's just like this is it, Oregon. Like this, it's finally time to win one, and just like Michigan last year, you will gain respect for a very, very long time once you finally win one.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I think we can both agree upon that this will be their year, but I am hoping they get upset.
Yeah.
Just don't give me like an Oregon versus Georgia championship.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Do you think ASU wins a game?
God. Well, I'm trying to. I was trying to read how like the bracket is supposed to go. Like I don't understand. Is it if Clemson wins that game, do they move to the right side and they go against ASU? Or is it if Clemson wins that game, ASU then plays whoever is the highest seed at that point? So would it be Notre Dame? Would it be Penn State?
I think it's just as you're looking at it.
You think so?
Because as you see, like, look how the brackets are connected to each other.
Yeah, I know. But
in looking at it, that's kind of common sense of a bracket going like that. That's usually how 99% of brackets go. Is that whoever wins that Texas or Clemson game would move on to face Arizona State.
Is that how March Madness bracket would go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so maybe that's what it is.
It's not by seeding. It's just by the seeding of the bracket.
I'm not sure. I think if ASU goes against Clemson, they would actually have an opportunity to win.
I think they would too. Texas would be tough.
Yeah, I don't know if they can match up in Texas.
But I'm gonna say Boise State wins a game. I'm gonna say they would either beat Penn State or SMU.
Yeah, I mean, and what's fun about it is like college football is having home games to it. I actually like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not a neutral site. So
right. Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah, I know. So you're gonna have this game in Tempe, which I mean,
rocking.
Yeah, I know. So you're gonna have home field advantage, and I mean, yeah, it's having home field advantage in Tempe is not as impactful as having home field advantage in Tuscaloosa or Death Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, freaking in Penn State, yeah.
But yeah.
But still though, like you just never know. That's kind of the beauty of it. Like you might see at least one this year. Possibly. There will be some seasons where you don't see one at all. There'll be, I'm sure, in the future where maybe you see a couple.
Right. So let us know what you guys think. Nate and I are picking Oregon as our winners. Yeah, it's a number 1 pick, but I think it's just the educated pick, and it's time for them to win it. So hope you guys enjoyed our college football video and our opinion on Alabama not making it. They didn't deserve to make it.
No.
Florida.
And really just the how much better the 12 team makes the sport.
Yep. And then you got Mike and Snow. Mike saying Florida should be ranked with 5 losses. And then
that's awful.
That's horrendous.
That's horrendous. That's horrendous. They shouldn't even be ranked.
No. So
5 losses.
But catch us on our next episode. I'm not sure what our next episode is going to be about. Nate and I are going to talk about it. Baseball free agency is going on. Juan Soto just signed a $7 billion contract because baseball because baseball doesn't have any tax. So
no, and just honestly, Z just not really sure where this money from Major League Baseball comes from.
No. Oh, 162 games, and there's your answer right there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just insanity. I don't care how many games are played baseball. Nobody should be making that.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
So we appreciate you guys. Peace and love. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and we'll see you guys on the next one.